Well, Kobe Bryant may be gone, but he will never be forgotten. Because he was more than just a sports figure, he captivated and even galvanized a much larger sect of people than just casual or even die-hard basketball fans. By the time of his tragic death, Kobe was more folk hero than hoop star, with his Mamba mentality becoming a defining characteristic for anyone in any sport, profession, or walk of life to maximize their potential. To work as hard as they could to become the best they can be every single day, to dominate the day and live with the results that would follow. It wasn't about being the best. It was about being the best you could be while overcoming all of the obstacles and challenges that stood in your way. That is what Mamba mentality was all about, and Kobe Bryant certainly walked the walk throughout his NBA and personal life. He wasn't perfect as a player or as a human being, but he worked as hard as he could and met all of the challenges head-on without sidestepping them or taking the easy way out. It became his superpower, his defining characteristic, and it is the legacy that largely lives on and resonates with me on this day, his birthday, in which he would have been turning 48 years old. While 2010 would be his official final game played, the unofficial end his career came on April 12, 2013, nearly 3 years to the day earlier when he ruptured his Achilles tendon. And in the 2012-2013 league year, Kobe was pouring in arguably one of his best years to date in his 17th year at the age of 34. You all remember Vino, don't you? Yeah, because Kobe was still cooking fools and arguably was still the best player in the world. That year, when 28-year-old LeBron James won the league MVP for the 4th time in 5 seasons, Kobe outscored Bron that year both in total points scored and scoring per game average. And that was while Kobe was posting a career high in assists, again in his 17th year. And why, you might be wondering, was a guy in his 17th season putting himself through that? Because of the dilapidated-ass roster his scrub organization hamstrung him with, of course. 38-year-old starting point guard Steve Nash that year averaged only 12 points per game for the Lakers, and that was while missing over 30 with various injuries. Pau Gasol, meanwhile, well, he averaged just 13 per game and also missed over 30 with a multitude of his own injuries. So with only 2 weeks of the regular season remaining on April 1st, the Lakers found themselves sitting at just 38-36 and in 9th place in the Western Conference standings. Yes, just 2 weeks to go, and on the outside looking in at the playoffs. So Kobe went to work pushing himself to the breaking point, literally. In the 7 games that would ensue, with Bryant playing nearly every minute of every game, the Lakers went 6-1 down the stretch with Kobe averaging 29 points per game, 8.5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block before his body exploded on him. Bryant wasn't chasing stats, money, fame, or social media clicks. He wasn't dancing around calling himself the king, just a guy worth hundreds of millions of dollars at that point, with 5 championship rings already on his fingers, but grinding it out and playing it to the bone because that's what kind of a competitor Kobe Bryant was. In today's day and age, while virtually all of the players continue to extend themselves longer and longer with more and more load management tactics, all for the glorification of their own egos to make more and more money, to stack more and more hollow box scores, Kobe Bryant was simply different, and everyone knew it. Even people who disliked or hated him respected him because of that mindset. And while it was that mindset that perhaps cost him a couple more thousand points on the all-time scoring list, maybe even another championship, that was the mindset that made Kobe, Kobe. And that is why we loved him. And after 3 injury-riddled seasons, 2 more which ended with season-ending injuries, just 6 and 35 games into the season, he limped and struggled his way through 66 games in the 2015-2016 league year. It was ugly. It was painful to watch. And coming into that fateful game on April 13th, 2016 against the Jazz, even I, the most ardent of Kobe supporters, was secretly hoping he just didn't embarrass himself, praying for at least 20 and begging the basketball gods for a 30 spot. But wouldn't you know it? While playing on no legs at 37 years and 234 days old with the accumulated wear and tear, Kobe Bryant became by far the oldest player in NBA history to score 60. But it wasn't just that he scored them, it was how he scored them. Overcoming a 14-point fourth-quarter deficit while scoring 23 points in the final frame on fumes and hitting the game-winning shot. and then, in quintessential Kobe fashion, dropped the mic on his way out. But while literally everyone else ever would have just felt at ease with that accomplishment, of being one of the greatest professional basketball players to ever live, yet Kobe seemingly was only getting started, and he went on to win an Academy Award in 2018 for Best Animated Short just 2 years after retiring. Yes, he was different. And in this sense, different most certainly was a good thing. So while we collectively were robbed of perhaps Kobe's best work yet in what was going to come next, he still serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of hard work and perseverance. He is a symbol now, and always that each day can be the day to start being different. Guys, many thanks for joining me as always, but on this day, especially more than others, we simply have to stick together in this day and age of Kobe's slander and hatred. We must work together to keep his legacy alive and protected.